Alright, so I think before today, the ways that we knew how to track Mushroom 10, as in track him while he's shuffling himself around among his clones, the ways that we knew how to track him were using Valor form and using Master form, and those were like the only two ways. But I found out earlier a way to do it with Final Form, and I did a lot more testing, and it turns out there's actually quite a few ways to actually track this guy. So I'm just gonna go through, like, just about everything. It's kind of crazy, actually. So I suppose we should start with just base Sora. Let's see. So with base Sora, you can actually track him with just normal attacks, with Combo Master and such. And there he is. You can also track him with Blizzard, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. No, you get the idea. You can also track him with Thunder, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, oops. I'm dumb. Well, fire doesn't work. Yeah, there he is. Thunder works. Let's see. Cure actually works for a little bit. It's kind of hard to see right there. I'll try and do it again so that people get like a better look at it. But Cure actually works. What if I did it in FPS mode? I haven't tried that before, actually. Yeah, there he is. So you can track him for like a tiny bit with Cure, believe it or not. And then you can also track him with Magnet. So you can do a lot with base Sora. Let's see. Let's move on straight to drives, I suppose, because that's like kind of the big one. So Valor is already known, but you can track him with Valor if you just do normal attacks. Okay. Wisdom form, just about everything works, actually. No joke. Thunder works. Magnet should work too. Give me a second. There he is. It's the one to the right over here. Yeah. I think Cure should work too, naturally, if it works with, yeah, it does. Just a little bit. Okay. And Reflect also works as well. Let me test that. I think he should be right here in the middle. Yep, alright, cool. So just about everything works with Wisdom. I think just about everything works with Limit Form too, which is really crazy. So regular hits. Okay. And then all of his limits too. So like R's. Strike rate also works. And then, oh wait, oops, there you go. What have we not tried? We haven't done Sonic Blade.
Let's go. It's over.
So Master Form. I think just about everything works with Master Form too. Yeah, regular attacking. The formerly known way was just using Reflect. This is like the easiest way. It should also be noted at this point that I'm not that I'm not using Magic Lock on. I think a lot of people's assumptions when they see the strategy is that it's the use of Magic Lock on, but I'm on level 1, and Magic Lock on is only an ability that you can get through level up. And every single drive does not have a Magic Lock on whatsoever in its ability set. Final doesn't have it, Master doesn't have it, Wisdom doesn't have it. So let's see. Blizzard should work too. Yeah. And Thunder should work as well, I believe. And Fire. Yeah. I guess I should also try Cure with Master. Oh shoot. Let me go back and try that again. Yeah, it tracks for a little bit. Okay. So then we go to Final Form. Some things work with Final Form and some don't. Normal attacks. So normal attacking like you did with Limit Form, Master Form, Wisdom Form, and Valor Form. Every other form you can use normal attacks. Final Form is the only one where it doesn't track correctly. It just doesn't track at all. So that's kind of surprising. Firaga doesn't work. Reflect does not work. But Blizzard, Thunder, and Magnet all do work. And if you continue the combo with the finisher right there, that works. Well, you get the idea. And I'll do Thunder real quick. Okay, cool. And then real quick, I guess we could try Cure. I don't think that tracked, actually. I'm gonna do it one more time.
Let's go.
No, it didn't track at all. That's crazy. So, Final Form's Cure does not track, but like every other Cure tracks correctly. Shit's wild, dude. Let's move on. Let's see what else is there. I guess we should do summons. So, Chicken Little does not work at all. Nothing that you do in Chicken Little. His whistle, his anything, nothing works there. Stitch doesn't work at all. Pan doesn't work at all. Their limits, none of that works. Oh, I forgot about Anti-Form. Very good point. Sorry. There's one more form that I always forget about. This is going to be kind of the crazy one for people back home. This one's crazy. Okay, so normal attacks work on tracking this guy. Alright, and then the crazy thing is using Anti-Glide actually works. For whatever reason, spamming Anti-Glide as a movement ability works. This is the only movement ability that does this too. Using Glide, Quick Run, Dodge Roll, all that stuff just doesn't work. But Anti-Glide for some reason does. So I don't know. So, none of the summons work except for Genie. Genie is the one that does actually work. Final Genie limit doesn't work, but all of these do work. Valor, Wisdom, and Master do work. I think it was like this one, maybe. Nope. Okay. But it did track it for a good while. Okay. And then Master also works. So those are all the summons. Those are that's the only summon that works, and those are the limits that work with it. And then limits, I suppose.
Captain.
So let's start with Solo Trinity. This one's kind of weird. So it will track correctly, but it won't get the target reticle. And then when you do the second break, it just won't track at all. It just loses it. This is the only situation where this happens, where it actually tracks correctly, but it doesn't pick up the target reticle. Well, actually, that's not true. This is the other situation. This Duck Flare. At the very start, Duck Flare's homing will track this guy, but everything else will miss. Yeah, there it tracks correctly. You could see the missiles actually going in a very specific direction, but everything else misses. And then here it just misses completely. I don't think that any other limit works. I'm pretty sure every other limit messes up. Oh, well, I guess Group Trinity Break works as well. It works the same exact way that Solo Trinity Break works. But everything else doesn't work the same. So Ultima and Mage Drive will not they just lose the targeting. Pretty sure comma doesn't work. Let me just make absolutely sure. That was because I attacked. Let me just do it without the attacking. Yeah, it loses it. And no other limit works either. So neither of Goofy's limits work, and Jack's limit doesn't work as well. So that's it. That's pretty much it. So I guess to like summarize, there's a lot of stuff that tracks this guy. And it's really funny that like Master and Valor specific uses were found, but nothing else was found. Like it's just nobody really bothered to test it. So yeah. You would think that a lot of this has to do with like homing attacks, like for instance, what is it? A lot of the attacks are based off of like a target and they home in on the target whenever they do the attack. So like Genie's stuff, for instance, Trinity's stuff, for instance, you would think that it's kind of like a homing mechanism that's within the game. But then there's a lot of other stuff that's just really inconsistent, like anti-glide working, for instance. I don't know what, I mean, yeah, it has a homing technique, but like no other movement in the game does, like, tracks it. And some of Final Form stuff works, but not all of it works. Whereas Limit, Master, Wisdom, like all that stuff works just fine. It's weird. But yeah. That's it. That's pretty much it. Sorry. This is just like a really, really long video, but this is just like a comprehensive guide to everything that can actually track this guy. Hopefully it was just, you know, useful or interesting.